What's going on, guys? This is Justin with another Mazda Monday, and I don't really have a lot to show. Well, I do have a lot to show, but I'm going to do that later on. Just to kind of catch you guys up, I've been testing all the different fueling mods. Found out the CX90 fuel pump, pretty much the same as all the other fuel pumps, like same flow. The CX90 injectors are about the same flow as the NA injectors and the 2.5T injectors. So the only injectors that are really an upgrade right now are the EcoBoost injectors. And I'm personally not tuning those right now for the cars, but they are good for NA cars if you want to run full E85 with like a turbo. You don't need the bigger injectors for a NA model without boost. So right now, I'm not tuning the EcoBoost injectors, but there are cars that are running the EcoBoost injectors with the turbo kit. Realistically, you only need to upgrade your low pressure fuel pump for most of the power on these cars. So if you're third gen or a CX5, CX9, or a Mazda 6 Turbo, the DW300C is going to be the best pump. If you are a fourth gen, the LC500. Now, I'll leave links to some of my other fellow YouTube guys, and some of them are my customers that you guys can follow along, and they go in more in depth on some of these modifications. But today, I have so much footage that I have not put together yet. So today I just made like a little collage footage of me putting the ND2 Miata on the dyno, which is from Works Garage. So I'll leave his YouTube in the bottom of here, and he's going to actually do a breakdown video of his ND Miata with all the mods and what it took to get it to that level. So the power we made on this Mustang dyno was exactly what I was expecting, because it is a loaded dyno. I've had guys go on different dynos, and yes, some dynos do read higher than others. If you go on an inertia dyno, which is just a drum and there's no resistance on it, it's just a solid weight that you're accelerating, those tend to make 11% more power. I know people think that dyno jets read 11% higher. They don't read 11% higher. It's not the actual brand of dyno, it is the type of dyno. So there are inertia dyno jets, and then there are loaded dyno jets. So a lot of people don't know that there's different type of dyno jets. So basically, I've had cars run on the Mustang dyno that I use, loaded dyno jets, and they ran exactly the same power. And I'm talking about supercharged vehicles. Like, they ran identical power with the identical tune. Like, the horsepower was exactly the same. Like, these are on an older tune, they all ran like 248 horsepower with like 238 foot-pounds of torque. And this was identical on three or four different third gens. It tested on completely different regions, completely different temperatures. They all made the same power as long as it was the same style of dyno. Now, for the car that I tested, the ND2, I searched on YouTube, tried to find like what kind of power people were making, and I did find one car on the Mustang dyno, and they made exactly the same power as me, except they were using E85. We were using 91 on this tune, and we made the same power as the E85 tune. And like I said, I found two other dynos that were higher than my car dyno, but and they were like around the same type of mods. But the thing is, they use a different type of dyno, and when you look at it, one of them says it's a dyno jet, but it doesn't tell you if it's a loaded dyno or inertia dyno. From what I've noticed, inertia dynos read about 11% higher. It's not just dyno jets. It has to be an inertia dyno jet, or just any dyno that is just a drum, like a set weight, and it just rolls. Those are going to be inertia dynos. And the reason why I believe those read higher, and especially on the cars that I tune, because of the way I tune my cars with valve timing, when you're on another car that I tuned, which is a Mazda 3, it made 195 wheel horsepower on an inertia dyno. Now, the reason why I think it made so much more power on this dyno is because it has a 4.1 header. And as you're going up in RPM, that 4.1 header is scavenging really hard at the higher RPM. And the faster you can accelerate the rate and speed, the more vacuum you're going to create, which means he's going to be sucking out more air out of the exhaust, which is going to cause a vacuum in the cylinder. And so when those valves are open, they're going to pull in more air. So having more exhaust gases fly out the exhaust is going to create a vacuum for more air to come in, because the engine is a big vacuum pump. So I don't want to talk too much about it right now. I just want to kind of show you the ND2, just a little video I made. Try to keep these videos under 15 minutes. But I am going to be creating a dyno series. So let's just go ahead and roll this, and let me know if you guys like how I edited or what I should be changing on it, okay? All right, this is going to be the first car. This is the ND2, full bolt-on, headers, exhaust, intake, tune on it. Obviously suspension work, so there's pretty much everything you could do to it. It's been done. It even has like the little ND2 fuel pump upgrade. Lance is going to go ahead and put it on a dyno, and then I'm going to do some runs. See what happens. The goal is, oh, he's good. Goal is 176. His car is so low that we have to put these ramps on here because he's so low. So this car is a problem because the wheelbase is so short. We have to make sure that it's like right on the roller. Go a little bit more. They just got it on there. This is why you need a professional to load it, and I'll never load it because this car wheelbase is so short that we only got the back wheels on there, and they had to center it, and it was a pain. But now we got the car on a dyno. Alright guys, so we're pretty much at 180 on 91 octane. 93, we definitely can get over 180, which I was told is impossible to get 180 horsepower on a 2.0 liter. Keep in mind, this is 91 octane, and I probably could squeeze out some more power at this car, but we called it quits, you know, so we already got that 180 mark that said it was impossible, and we did it on 91 on a Mustang dyno, right? This thing does not read high. There's a lot of load on it. Good. Yep. see, it was a short little video that I just put together. I'll probably make one for the third gen that made 195 wheel horsepower and an inertia dyno. But if I do the conversion, if I do the whole 11% thing, I don't know if it's true or not, but I believe if I took that car that made 195 wheel horsepower and I put it on a loaded dyno, I think it might make only 176 horsepower. And if I take this Miata and I put it on that inertia dyno, I think it would make 199 wheel horsepower if we do the 11% conversion, which seems about right because, I mean, the ND2 definitely, I used a little bit more timing on it, so the power should be higher than the other car. Because like every degree should be about 2 wheel horsepower, roughly. And I believe that ND Miata is faster. I mean, even at elevation, I mean, we're definitely not making the power, but that conversion is correct because, like I said, I dynoed a third gen on that dyno, and it made 248 with the corrections. And then we had a guy in Florida do the same week, I believe, he made the same 248. So that machine is very accurate. And I've double checked it with guys in Saudi Arabia, you know, a whole bunch of different places, and they all make the same power. So that dyno's pretty accurate. So like I'm saying, if I took that ND2 on that inertia dyno, we would probably get about 199 wheel horsepower. And I mean, that's probably as most as I can get without opening the motor up. Is on stock camshafts. The motor has not been opened, it's just bolt-ons on the exterior. I haven't really been tuning cars with cams lately. I did a few cars that were supercharged, but I mean, maybe I'll try it again, but the cams really don't do much for the supercharged vehicles. The NAs might benefit from it more, but until I try to tune one of those again, I'm just gonna, you know, not bother with them because, I mean, these cars make decent power for what they are. So that's it for the video, guys. What we got coming, I might make a video next week on the car in Colombia that made 195 wheel horsepower. But before we do that, the second gen. So we're going to do an inspection on the second gen. I'm going to drain the oil, show you guys what the oil look like. We'll fill it up with fresh oil. The motor's already blown, whatever. I'm going to pull the stock file, maybe do some draggy runs with the blown motor, and then maybe actually tune it to see if it'll blow the motor up. I'll put some 91 in there, see if there's a difference on that car. Maybe the knock will just disappear. But yeah, we'll start working on that second gen and video and everything. And then also, what a lot of guys have been really asking about is the cylinder deactivation. So next video, we're going to mess with the second gen, and I'm going to show you guys how to turn off cylinder deactivation because I know I keep getting comments about that. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will bring more information soon, guys.